How many streams have I been doing, guys, since day one? I think it's over 300 or 400, I don't remember.
Around that number, yes, I can totally confirm that.
Bring back MO1 walls. Who... I don't... Do you remember how it was? No one enjoyed that. It was... And not only that, we got 1,000 petitions every week about those damn walls. It brings me nightmares to remember them.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolfside channel. Today with a very special topic, I mean always special. Henrik also answered a lot of questions about the combat, the TC, the AI and also some more smaller things like board games and stuff. And he also talked about the current state of development, so let's dive straight into it.
Hundreds of features that we'll be talking about over the years that isn't in the game and may not be in the game until another year or 2 years or 3 years. As I said, this is a marathon. We plan to host Mortal Online for more than 10 years, obviously more than Mortal 1. And since we have way more resources this time around, we're gonna reach way more ground development, especially when we are on a stable build engine and can focus more on game development. Have a race in the future? You mean playable race? We discussed that since day one, that is a possibility, but obviously again, time is always a challenge, right? Where do we spend our development time? We all want the different things. Looks cute, maybe tasty. I'm new to name, but what's your point of view of actual PvP meta and what change you want to do in the future for that? So obviously there will be a lot of updates when it comes to that with the combat abilities, which is included in this expansion, and it is our main focus on a stream on our last stream for the expansion getting closer to go live. So obviously there will be a lot of new things added that will most likely add a new layer of PvP abilities, skills, you know, and that's why it's so important for us to have hopefully a lot of you guys to help PTR test those, to help with balance and so on. Obviously one of those tactics is to spin around to hide your directions, and some people think it's pretty cool. You know, some people say, well, it's unrealistic that you face your back towards the enemies. You didn't do that in real life, which is kind of true, right? But then also we have movies and other games where you do all these crazy twisting, running around with back against enemies moves. And some people find that pretty cool. We always try to make a, you know, somewhat believable world, even though you see a lot of magic and crazy things because it's not Earth. We kind of agree that, you know, that the meta, especially 1 versus 1, is about spinning and disguise your directions. May not be the, you know, our original end goal vision of how the combat should be, but we also understand why it's necessary today. If we remove the spins today and the top tier 1 versus 1 happens, they will not even be able to kill each other, right? Because they lack options to get past the parries. Combat abilities, you will have more tools to your skill set to use to get past that. I mean, already now I've been testing doing multiple motion capture animations. Looks cool and all that, and they all start from different directions, which means there's a whole new army of new abilities or strikes that you have to learn how to block them. I mean, most veterans that are dueling and practicing every day today, they have it in the backbone how to parry, right? How that looks. They learned that, what to look on, look at the body rotation and so on. That's why they're so successful. So there's a lot of skills practice into that, right? And a lot of new players don't like it and refuse to learn that, while some people say, well, that's what you need to learn to be a master. It's one of those difficult ones as well, where a lot of people likes it, they're mastering it, while some think it's silly and doesn't look as cool. And that is why we are implementing these combat moves, just a whole new set of strikes, and you can perform them from different directions. Now you need to, you know, master so many more, right? Of course you can skip being a melee fighter, right, and be a mage if you want to be that as well, of course. That's an option, but we're talking about if you're just melee fighters, right? So my hope and goal is that it will be a deeper system that gives you more skill sets and tools to have successful melee fights with high skill ceiling. And if all that works, it may also allow us to tighten the spin ability or add more penalty when you're spinning, so you don't do it as a constant baseline. But it's too early to say that, because again, we also need you guys that are the pro PvP veterans to see how that works and if it's actually going through to that vision, right? Even since beta days, we've seen a lot of cool role players and streamers, influencers finding the game, joining in, and we had a blast watching a lot of their content. They said, just like it is, it's such a perfect game to roleplay in. It's first person, very immersive, high visuals. We have a VoIP system. Everything fits as a glove for some really unique, crazy RP elements. And there've been so many hilarious situations in this game that have been really, being enjoyable for us to watch and witness over the years. So obviously we hope that we can continue to promote that, give content to that, and see more of that from various players, streamers that wanna, tap into that. And of course, there are several areas and features that helps promoting that. Again, it's just the challenge of what do we pick, what do we choose. We only have these many developers, so it's always a struggle. Obviously, I would wish that we could keep expanding the team quickly and add more of those things spread out on the developers. We have been, haven't had the most exciting patches lately, which always means people will go on breaks, they will play other games, they're waiting for content, right? And having some huge steps, updating the engine only, performance and polish, that's never very exciting. That doesn't bring a lot of players back. So that's also expected why we have a drop in players currently. Last patch wasn't exciting at all. But very important, and we are here for the future also. We're here as a marathon, not a sprint, because we know that if we deliver a big battle siege system with that a lot of people want to join back in and fight, and if everyone crashes or getting 10 FPS, then what was the point, right? Spending all those months in building that system if no one can really enjoy it. That's why we had to do some optimization, engine updates. You guys have been awesome confirming that the performance is absolutely improved. We have more of the performance optimization coming along with this patch, because again, we expect more players to come back. We obviously expect players to participate in invasions, which means tons of stuff on your screen. And of course, the TC Overhaul will bring back bigger frequent battles between players, even though we all want it now and we're eager to get it now. And we have heard the doom and gloom, since we have heard that since day one, 20 years ago. So we kind of a little bit tired of it, but we also used it, right? Someone comes in here, super cool. Oh my God, you own 500 players in game. They're always wrong because they don't know how numbers works. They think that those 500 numbers are the total subscription we have, But we fully understand where they're coming from. It's just that a little bit tired after 20 years. Oh my God, not gonna survive. We've been doing this for 20 years, so we know how it works. Everyone can relax. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. It's that simple, right? But we understand. So we had a lot of complaints, Marcus. You may have a beast computer where you don't really suffer from FPS in general, but a huge complaint from a lot of players, and allegedly so, have been complaining that the performance is too bad compared to Unreal 4. But we know that we can get that back and even surpass it eventually, and that's what we do now. Last patch gave us a lot of FPS back. But yeah, there's always something to polish, right? Again, a very small development team. It's easy to forget about that. We are a fraction compared to any other MMO developer out in the world. So we have to be very careful on where we spend our development time. And sometimes sadly we're forced to spend a lot of time on something that people don't see or can enjoy in the game. But it's a backbone thing, or performance or bug fixing, but still very important and necessary. This expansion, we actually got a new coder that is he's very passionate about, very technical, deep in the engine, how to optimize things, so it fits him as a glove. And we are doing a huge TC overhaul that I think everyone gonna enjoy very much more than what we have today. We're a lot that want more RP games, card games, board games, dice, etc. We have dices in the game already, if you haven't noticed. But yes, obviously I want poker, Texas Hold'em, and tournaments, and sit in the cities and play those grand tournaments and be able to VoIP and play with you guys. I'm looking forward to that very much. And of course, there will be more board games over time. We will start the countdown for the next stream shortly, so just keep an eye out on the website and you will know what that date is pretty soon. I love playing poker, and we played a lot of poker in the past, and I see a lot of people in the past were playing poker in our game, in a tavern, and having a poker next to it. So I think a lot of guys can chill and enjoy it, and if you're a good poker player, you can even make money of it, right? So it's a really fun game for many. But of course, there will be others as well. I want it to be a true, realistic poker game. When you sit at the table, everyone can see the cards in the middle, right? So there can be bystanders following the game, following the action, right? And you see your cards, everyone else see them. You do that on the table in first person, and then you put the cards on the table so everyone will see it live and be able to follow it. That's how I want it to be, and I think we have a way to make that happen. Card peaking, I'm not sure about that, right? Could be catastrophic, especially if there's a huge hosted tournament. We don't want cheating, right? So I'm not sure if that's a good thing to add, because then people will peak and ruin tournaments and people will rage and they can't really rely on being a good professional poker player and actually having or organizing a awesome event, or even when the emperor organizes an event with a big pot for everyone, it could be ruined, right? Where you can't rely on that. It's a cool thing, right? But I think we have to enforce some rules there where the guards handle that. But eventually over time, we are reaching those various areas of development. And like I said, when we have to focus less on engine updates, performance updates, we have more resources to spend on those features. And we're getting closer to that. And, you know, as long as we can keep on expanding, we will have more developers, which means more areas can be covered. So eventually, poker will be a thing, but I can't say when. And there are more features that are in the same category. Probably noticed our weekly boot now takes almost under 1 minute compared to our old system. It took, 45 minutes for our daily boot, or any reboot for that matter. Now it's under 1 minute. It's insane how good they have done that system, how everything works, how it saves and stores and launch. Oh, you're set in stone on removing spinning from melees. I don't think it can happen overnight, right? When the meta is not to spin, you know, I think we have achieved an interesting point, because that means you probably have enough tools which is more powerful, so there's no point in spinning around. If someone got used to only spinning around, you know, we may allow that to still happen, but we may also take the opportunity to strict it in terms of making it cost more stamina or something at the same time as we add more tools, which means, you know, it helps us to not have that as a meta, you know. But we want obviously to a duel, a 1 versus 1 should be able to beat another player without spin. That's one goal at least. The armor stacking is just a visual bug now. The stats for it has been fixed to my knowledge. I know the visuals are still there fooling players. We got a few reports of that, but I'm quite sure Sebastian looked into those to make sure that it's just a visual thing now. That's mostly when you're doing a one-on-one or a few 1 versus 2, 3, small amount, right? In any big battle, group versus group, siege, spinning goes out the window, and it's you don't spin anymore. You have to focus on the color, healing, parry, you know, corruption, magic, everything goes. And if you overreach, you're dead. So spinning is not really a thing. And what are you talking about? Spinning should not be a thing at all. It's horrible to see. I'm a veteran that spins a lot and does that well. I'm just talking about the facts, what people think and what we agree on. And you know, I think the majority are on the same page. So I'm not sure what exactly you're referring to. Like I said, I want there to be viable options to defeat your opponent without spinning. That is our goal. How many streams have I been doing, guys, since day one? I think it's over 300 or 400, I don't remember. I never promised when we will put our player count on the website. I said that when we have backend tools that allow us to do it, and we have time from Sebastian to spend a moment on it, we will be able to do it. And we're getting those backend tools because we're using them in different things to monitor things on a daily basis. So it's easier for us to do it now, but we also are extremely cranked in terms of deliver the expansion in time. We are a small team, like I said, so even though there, you know, we have thousands of small things we want to do, but they stack up very quickly.
So just to give my humble thoughts here, Starbolt is working very fast and very effective for the size they are. I mean, compare it to a Tarkov, or compare it to Bannerlord. And I really like it that Henrik is engaging so much with the community and telling us their problems and telling us what is going on and telling us what they are working on and showing us things. This is awesome. Not many developers are doing that. So what is your opinion about the TC rework, about the spinning, not spinning debate? And please leave a like and subscribe, would be really awesome, by the way. And special thanks to all these supporters, of course. Carmel, Lucario, Mr. Minerva, Damn Tired, Ronus, Paternax, Colomb, Bulldog, and all the others, of course. And never forget to, I don't know, comment hard. Yeah, like hard, party hard, party hard, make party hard. See you all next time. Goodbye.